Ever wondered who Shirley MacLaine has intentionally left out of her stories? You might be shocked to find out. From ballet to a legendary acting career spanning over 70 years, Shirley MacLaine has experienced it all. Yet, despite her success, she's had her share of conflicts and rivalries. Want to know who she hates the most? Stick around to the end of this video to discover the answer. But first, let's take a look at how she became the star she is today. Shirley MacLaine, originally named after the renowned child actress Shirley Temple, was born on April 24, 1934, in Richmond, Virginia. Her father, Ira Owens Beatty, wore many hats as a public school administrator, psychology professor, and real estate agent. Her mother, Kathleen MacLean, nurtured a love for the arts as a drama teacher. Shirley had one younger brother, Warren Beatty, who would also go on to make a name for himself in the entertainment industry as an actor, writer, and director. During her childhood, Shirley's family moved frequently, relocating from Richmond to Norfolk, then to Arlington and Waverly, before finally returning to Arlington. There, her father secured a position as a public school administrator at Thomas Jefferson Junior High School in 1945, providing 12-year-old Shirley with much-needed stability. As a toddler, Shirley struggled with weak ankles, causing her to stumble and fall frequently. To address this, her mother enrolled her in ballet classes at the Washington School of Ballet when she was just 3 years old. Although the initial intention was to strengthen her ankles, Shirley quickly developed a passion for ballet and performing arts. This newfound love led her to dedicate herself to ballet, never missing a class. Her talent and commitment eventually earned her roles in classical romantic pieces such as Romeo and Juliet and The Sleeping Beauty. Interestingly, she often played male roles due to her height and the lack of boys in her ballet class. Despite her early setback with a broken ankle during a performance of Cinderella, Shirley's passion for ballet persisted. However, her height presented a challenge in perfecting the precise techniques required for a professional ballet career. Additionally, she found the demanding nature of ballet, which often consumed her time and hindered her social life, to be a deterrent. This realization prompted her to explore other avenues in the performing arts, such as acting, dancing, and musical theater. However, her experience with ballet had instilled in her a tenacity and athleticism that translated well into other areas. Her height and the confidence gained from playing male roles in ballet sparked an interest in sports, leading her to join an all-boys baseball team. Shirley's talent and determination shone through as she excelled in baseball, even setting a record for the most home runs and earning the nickname Powerhouse. In high school, she further diversified her extracurricular activities by joining the cheerleading squad and participating in school plays. This combination of athleticism, performance experience, and natural talent set the stage for her future success in the entertainment industry. Throughout her high school years, Shirley actively participated in various performing arts, solidifying her aspiration to become a performer. This ambition, influenced by her mother's career as a drama teacher, led her to New York City during summer breaks, where she honed her acting skills in pursuit of her dreams. After her junior year, Shirley's dedication paid off when she secured a chorus role in a production of the musical Oklahoma. However, her commitment to education saw her return home to complete her studies, temporarily putting her dreams on hold. Upon graduating high school, Shirley's acting career took off when she landed a role in the Broadway production of Me and Juliet. However, her big break came unexpectedly in 1954 when she was called upon to fill in for the injured actress Carol Haney in The Pajama Game. This opportunity allowed Shirley to showcase her talent and charm, proving her ability to captivate audiences. Shirley MacLaine's big break came when film producer Hal B. Wallace saw her performance in The Pajama Game and signed her to Paramount Pictures. Her film debut in Alfred Hitchcock's The Trouble with Harry in 1955 earned her the Golden Globe Award for New Star of the Year, actress propelling her career forward. Between 1955 and 1960, MacLaine starred in several successful films, including Artists and Models and Around the World in 80 Days, the latter winning the Academy Award for Best Picture. Her talent and versatility as an actress were further showcased in films like Hot Spell, The Sheep Man, and The Matchmaker, all released in 1958. In 1958, MacLaine's portrayal of a compassionate prostitute in Some Came Running earned her a Best Actress Academy Award nomination and a Golden Globe nomination. This role solidified her position as a leading lady in Hollywood and showcased her ability to tackle complex and nuanced characters. Shirley MacLaine's charm extended beyond the screen as she won the hearts of the Rat Pack, a group of iconic entertainers including Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. Her close friendship with them even led to a cameo appearance in their film Ocean's 11. In 1960, MacLaine starred in Billy Wilder's The Apartment, a romantic comedy that garnered critical acclaim and numerous awards. Although the film was a success, MacLaine missed out on the Best Actress Oscar, losing to Elizabeth Taylor. Despite this, her performance was lauded and further solidified her position as a leading lady in Hollywood. Following Marilyn Monroe's death in 1962, MacLaine stepped into roles that had originally been intended for the late actress. She reunited with Jack Lemmon in Wilder's Irma la Douce in 1963, playing a Parisian prostitute. She also took over Monroe's role in What a Way to Go in 1964. MacLaine continued to star in notable films throughout the 1960s, including John Goldfarb, Please Come Home, and the crime thriller Gambit. Shirley MacLaine's success in the 1960s, marked by her third Academy Award nomination for Irma la Douce, was followed by a period of decline in her career. Despite being offered a lucrative contract by 20th Century Fox for a role in the musical Bloomer Girl, the project's cancellation and ensuing legal dispute signaled a shift in her fortunes. This disappointment was only the beginning. The 1969 musical Sweet Charity, while showcasing MacLaine's talent and earning her a Golden Globe nomination, ultimately failed to achieve commercial success. The new decade brought further challenges as MacLaine's career trajectory took a downward turn. In 1970, she starred in Two Mules for Sister Sarah, a role originally intended for Elizabeth Taylor. The film's lackluster reception added to the string of disappointments MacLaine faced during this period. This marked a significant departure from the consistent success she had enjoyed in the previous decade, highlighting the unpredictable nature of the entertainment industry and the challenges of maintaining a thriving career. Despite her early success, Shirley MacLaine's career experienced a significant downturn in the 1970s. While her performance in the film Two Mules for Sister Sarah, alongside Clint Eastwood, was well received, the director, Don Siegel, made a remark that would stick with her. "It's hard to feel any great warmth to her. She's too unfeminine and has too much balls. She's very, very hard." This characterization of MacLaine as unfeminine and tough stemmed from various factors. In interviews, she revealed a difficult childhood with an alcoholic father who often created a volatile environment at home. As the older sibling, MacLaine felt responsible for protecting her brother, Warren Beatty, from their father's outbursts, forcing her to adopt a hardened demeanor at a young age. Furthermore, MacLaine carried the weight of her parents' unfulfilled dreams. Her relentless pursuit of a career in entertainment was partly driven by a desire to provide them with the stardom they had always desired. This determination and resilience may have contributed to her perceived unfeminine qualities. MacLaine's decision to sue 20th Century Fox over the cancellation of the Bloomer Girl project further cemented this perception. By refusing a lesser role and demanding compensation for damages, she was seen as difficult and uncompromising. This move, combined with her strong personality, made directors and studios hesitant to work with her, leading to a decline in the quality and ambition of the roles offered to her. The combination of personal experiences, industry perceptions, and career choices ultimately contributed to MacLaine's struggles during this period. In the early 1970s, Shirley MacLaine's career experienced a brief detour into television with the short-lived sitcom Shirley's World. This London-based series, where she played a photojournalist, was part of a deal that included a role in the low-budget drama Desperate Characters. MacLaine's political activism also took center stage during this time. With a family background in politics, her uncle was a politician, she actively campaigned for George McGovern in the 1972 presidential election, showcasing her dedication to social causes. Despite being offered the role of Chris MacNeil in The Exorcist, MacLaine was turned down by director William Friedkin due to her involvement in a similar film, The Possession of Joel Delaney. However, she continued to pursue diverse projects, co-directing a documentary about women in China titled The Other Half of the Sky, a China memoir, which received an Oscar nomination. In 1976, MacLaine returned to her roots in live performance with concerts at the London Palladium and New York's Palace Theatre, later released as Shirley MacLaine Live at the Palace. 1977 marked a significant turning point in her career, with a triumphant return to the big screen in The Turning Point, starring alongside Anne Bancroft as a retired ballerina, a role that resonated with her own ballet background. MacLaine's performance earned her a 4th Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. In 1978, Shirley MacLaine's remarkable career resurgence was further cemented when she was honored with the Women in Film Crystal Award. This prestigious accolade recognized her outstanding contributions to the entertainment industry and her tireless efforts to expand opportunities for women in film. It was a well-deserved acknowledgement of her perseverance and dedication to her craft, especially after overcoming a challenging period in her career. MacLaine's return to prominence continued with her role in the 1979 satirical film Being There. The movie, directed by Hal Ashby, revolved around Chance, played by Peter Sellers, a simple-minded gardener who unexpectedly becomes a trusted advisor to powerful figures in business and politics. MacLaine's performance garnered critical acclaim, earning her a British Academy Film Award and a Golden Globe nomination. However, her success hit a snag in 1980, with 2 films centered around the theme of adultery, A Change of Seasons and Loving Couples. Both films failed to resonate with audiences and critics alike. While A Change of Seasons faced widespread criticism, MacLaine's performance was spared, with critics attributing the film's shortcomings to its screenplay rather than her acting. In 1983, Shirley MacLaine starred in the critically acclaimed dramedy Terms of Endearment, portraying Deborah Winger's mother in a complex and emotionally charged relationship spanning 3 decades. The film, featuring an ensemble cast including Jack Nicholson, Jeff Daniels, and John Lithgow, became a massive box office hit, grossing over $100 million. Terms of Endearment received widespread recognition at the 56th Academy Awards, garnering 11 nominations and winning 5, including Best Picture. MacLaine's outstanding performance earned her the Best Actress Oscar, a long-awaited victory after her 5 previous nominations in the same category. This win marked a significant milestone in her career and solidified her status as a leading actress in Hollywood. After her Oscar win, MacLaine continued to star in prominent films. In 1989, she appeared in Steel Magnolias, a heartwarming Southern drama about the bonds of friendship and resilience among women facing personal tragedies. The film, directed by Herbert Ross and co-starring Sally Field, Julia Roberts, and Dolly Parton, was a commercial success, grossing over $90 million against a $15 million budget. MacLaine's performance garnered her a British Academy Film Award, further solidifying her international recognition. In 1990, she starred alongside Meryl Streep in Postcards from the Edge, a film that explored the complex relationship between a mother and daughter in the entertainment industry. MacLaine's portrayal of a flamboyant actress earned her nominations for Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture and Funniest Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture, highlighting her versatility and comedic talent. Between 1992 and 2000, Shirley MacLaine continued to be a prominent figure in the film industry, starring in a variety of movies such as Used People, Guarding Tess, Mrs. Winterbourne, The Evening Star, Rumor Has It, In Her Shoes, and Closing the Ring. She collaborated with a wide range of talented actors, including Jessica Tandy, Kathy Bates, Nicolas Cage, Ricki Lake, Brendan Fraser, Kevin Costner, Jennifer Aniston, Cameron Diaz, Toni Collette, and Christopher Plummer. MacLaine's creative endeavors extended beyond acting. In 2000, she stepped into the director's chair for the first and only time, helming the feature film The Dress Code. Although this marked her sole directorial effort, it showcased her versatility and willingness to explore different facets of filmmaking. In 2011, she returned to acting with a role in Richard Linklater's dark comedy Bernie, alongside Jack Black and Matthew McConaughey. MacLaine's career also included notable television appearances, such as autobiographical projects based on her books, Out on a Limb and The Salem Witch Trials. She also starred in These Old Broads, a project penned by Carrie Fisher, where she reunited with Elizabeth Taylor, Debbie Reynolds, and Joan Collins, a nod to her earlier years in Hollywood. MacLaine's talent continued to shine in the 2000s and beyond. In 2009, her performance in Coco Before Chanel earned her Primetime Emmy Award and Golden Globe Award nominations. She also graced the small screen with a recurring role in the popular British drama Downton Abbey, playing Martha Levinson, the mother of the Countess of Grantham. Her career continued into the 2010s and 2020s, with roles in films like Wild Oats and The Little Mermaid. In 2022, she made a notable return to television in the Hulu series Only Murders in the Building, further solidifying her status as an enduring and versatile talent in the entertainment industry. In a career spanning over 6 decades, Shirley MacLaine has undoubtedly encountered a diverse range of personalities among her co-stars. It's inevitable that some of these encounters resulted in animosity or conflicts. One such instance involves her experience on the set of Two Mules for Sister Sarah. Set in the aftermath of the American Civil War, the film tells the story of Hogan, a former soldier played by Clint Eastwood, who rescues a woman from bandits. This woman, initially believed to be Sister Sarah, a nun on a mission to help Mexican revolutionaries, turns out to be quite different from Hogan's expectations. Despite her religious facade, Sarah, played by MacLaine, has a penchant for drinking and swearing, surprising and even shocking Hogan at times. Throughout their journey to a Mexican revolutionary camp, Hogan and Sarah develop a complex relationship. When Hogan is injured, Sarah nurses him back to health, revealing her true identity as a prostitute wanted by the French for her support of the revolutionaries. This revelation further complicates their dynamic, but they eventually join forces to infiltrate and attack the French forces. While the film itself was successful, the behind-the-scenes relationship between MacLaine and Eastwood was reportedly less harmonious. MacLaine has expressed her dislike for Eastwood in the past, citing his behavior on set as a reason for their strained relationship. Two Mules for Sister Sarah culminates in a strategic maneuver where Hogan pretends to capture Sarah and turn her in to the French authorities to claim a reward. This ploy allows the revolutionaries to infiltrate the fort and defeat the French forces, granting Hogan his promised share of the riches. In the end, Hogan and Sarah, having developed feelings for each other, embark on a new life together, opening a gambling house in San Francisco. Released in 1970 and directed by Don Siegel, Two Mules for Sister Sarah originally intended to cast Elizabeth Taylor as Sarah, alongside Clint Eastwood. However, Taylor declined the role due to scheduling conflicts, leading to Shirley MacLaine's casting as a replacement. Despite her undeniable talent and success in previous films like Sweet Charity, MacLaine's casting was met with initial skepticism from both Siegel and Eastwood. They were concerned about her pale complexion, which didn't align with the character's Mexican heritage. However, the studio insisted on MacLaine, citing her recent success in Sweet Charity as proof of her capabilities. While Siegel and Eastwood eventually accepted the studio's decision, the tension between them and MacLaine persisted throughout the filming process. Their differing opinions and approaches created a challenging on-set environment, despite the film's eventual success. Both Eastwood and Siegel found her lacking in traditional femininity, put off by her assertive demeanor and what they perceived as masculine traits. MacLaine's childhood experiences, including playing male roles in ballet and excelling in baseball, had undoubtedly shaped her into a strong and independent woman, traits that were not always appreciated in the male-dominated film industry of the time. Despite her ability to convincingly portray a wide range of characters on screen, MacLaine refused to conform to societal expectations of femininity in her personal life. This refusal to play a role, especially for Eastwood and Siegel, further fueled the on-set conflict. Director Don Siegel described her as difficult and assertive, a characterization exacerbated by the challenging filming conditions in Mexico. The production of Two Mules for Sister Sarah spanned over 65 days in Mexico, with a budget of approximately $4 million. The harsh climate and living conditions took a toll on the cast and crew, with many falling ill due to the local food and water. MacLaine was not immune to these hardships, further fueling her frustration and contributing to the strained atmosphere on set. The animosity between Shirley MacLaine and her male counterparts on the set of Two Mules for Sister Sarah was mutual and intense. Both Clint Eastwood and Don Siegel openly expressed their dislike for MacLaine, vowing never to work with her again. Siegel remained true to his word, successfully avoiding any future collaborations with her until his passing. Eastwood, too, has upheld his vow, never sharing the screen with MacLaine since their 1970 film. Despite the persistent rumors surrounding their alleged feud, MacLaine surprisingly omitted any mention of Eastwood in her memoir, leading to speculation about the depth of their animosity. Some theorized that she excluded him out of sheer dislike, while others questioned whether she chose not to tarnish her book with his name. Years later, MacLaine addressed the rumors in an interview, clarifying her feelings towards Eastwood. She expressed admiration for him both personally and professionally, recounting an incident during filming where his frustration with a stubborn horse led him to punch the animal. However, she also highlighted a softer side to Eastwood, revealing his discomfort when forced to kill a rattlesnake used in a scene due to concerns from Mexican authorities. While not a co-star in the traditional sense, David Letterman played a significant role in highlighting the more controversial aspects of Shirley MacLaine's persona. During her 1988 appearance on his late-night show to promote Madame Susatska, Letterman chose to focus on MacLaine's belief in reincarnation, a topic that had already sparked debate and intrigue. Letterman's approach to the subject was far from respectful. Before MacLaine even took the stage, he made a joke about her belief, eliciting laughter from the audience but setting an uncomfortable tone for the interview. Despite acknowledging MacLaine's film as the reason for her visit, Letterman quickly steered the conversation back to reincarnation, asking her if she could see his past lives. MacLaine, clearly annoyed by Letterman's flippant attitude towards a deeply personal belief, responded with a warning, "You're in big trouble, David." However, this did little to deter the host, who continued to make light of her beliefs, even suggesting she had lived as a monk, an Atlantean, and a harem dancer. Despite MacLaine's attempts to steer the conversation back to her film, Letterman persisted in mocking her beliefs. This pattern of disrespect continued in subsequent years, with Letterman frequently using MacLaine's beliefs as comedic fodder. This not only exposed her to ridicule, but also reinforced the perception of her as an eccentric figure in the public eye. In October 1988, Shirley MacLaine's appearance on David Letterman's late-night show took a controversial turn as he persistently mocked her belief in reincarnation. MacLaine, having traveled extensively in Asia where reincarnation is a common belief, found Letterman's jokes disrespectful and dismissive of her personal convictions. Despite MacLaine's attempts to steer the conversation towards her film, Letterman relentlessly questioned her about her alleged past lives, suggesting she had been a monk, an Atlantean, and a harem dancer. This disregard for her feelings and beliefs clearly frustrated MacLaine, who eventually retorted, "Maybe Cher was right. Maybe you are an asshole," referencing Cher's previous criticism of Letterman during an interview. Undeterred, Letterman continued to provoke MacLaine, questioning the sincerity of her frustration. In a surprising turn of events, MacLaine offered to help him with meditation and even reached out to touch his hair in a symbolic gesture. This unexpected move caught Letterman off guard, prompting him to abruptly end the interview with a half-hearted apology, citing time constraints. This encounter has become a memorable moment in television history, showcasing the clash between two strong personalities and the potential for conflict when personal beliefs are treated with disrespect. The aftermath of the uncomfortable encounter between Shirley MacLaine and David Letterman was filled with speculation and commentary. MacLaine's abrupt departure from the show after the commercial break fueled rumors about their relationship. However, in a subsequent interview on Entertainment Tonight, she clarified that she held no ill feelings towards Letterman, but simply preferred not to delve into the topic of her past lives. Nonetheless, she made it clear that she would not be returning to his show for another interview. For over 2 decades, from the time of that awkward interview until Letterman's retirement in 2015, MacLaine never appeared on his show again. Letterman, reflecting on the incident, admitted that he had misjudged MacLaine's reluctance to discuss reincarnation, assuming she was being difficult. He acknowledged his own shortcomings in handling the situation, recognizing that his approach had led to an unnecessary confrontation. Despite Letterman's acknowledgement of his missteps, he couldn't resist a final jab at MacLaine. He quipped about wanting to swat her, likely referring to her touching his hair during the interview, implying that many others would share his sentiment. This snide remark, following his supposed apology, underscored the lingering tension between the two. The 1980 film A Change of Seasons paired 2 acclaimed actors, Anthony Hopkins and Shirley MacLaine, who were both at the height of their careers. Unfortunately, the movie proved to be a critical and commercial flop, labeled as one of the worst films of the year. While the exact details of their on-set dynamic remain unclear, both actors have publicly expressed their dislike for each other. Hopkins infamously referred to MacLaine as the most obnoxious actor he had ever worked with. MacLaine, in response, attributed his harsh words to his struggles with alcoholism, suggesting that he was not in the best state of mind during filming. The dynamic between Shirley MacLaine and Deborah Winger on the set of Terms of Endearment was fraught with tension and conflict. Despite their mutual admiration for each other's work, their personalities clashed from the very beginning. This animosity mirrored the strained relationship between their on-screen characters, Emma Greenway and Aurora. According to Winger, their interactions were often challenging, but there was an underlying respect between them. They constantly pushed each other, both professionally and personally, which sometimes resulted in clashes. However, their differences in approach and temperament ultimately led to a tumultuous working relationship. One of the most infamous anecdotes from their feud involves a rumored incident where Winger allegedly farted in MacLaine's face during an argument. While MacLaine addressed this rumor in her book, Winger cryptically acknowledged that there was some truth to the story when questioned about it years later. Despite the notorious feud between Shirley MacLaine and Deborah Winger, their contentious relationship paradoxically fueled their performances in Terms of Endearment. The on-screen tension between their characters mirrored their real-life animosity, resulting in a powerful and authentic portrayal of a strained mother-daughter dynamic. Ironically, their clash culminated in one of the most successful films in their careers, with MacLaine ultimately winning the Best Actress Oscar over Winger. MacLaine has alluded to further bizarre behavior from Winger on set, including an incident where Winger allegedly licked her leg during a romantic scene with Jack Nicholson. This anecdote, along with actor Michael Douglas's account of Winger biting him hard enough to draw tears, paints a picture of Winger as an unpredictable and challenging co-star. The stories of MacLaine's difficult relationships with Clint Eastwood, Deborah Winger, and David Letterman raise the question of who she truly disliked the most. While each interaction was unique, the feud with Deborah Winger stands out due to its intensity, longevity, and the bizarre incidents associated with it. The fact that their animosity fueled their performances in Terms of Endearment, yet ultimately led to Winger losing the Oscar to MacLaine, adds another layer of complexity to their already tumultuous relationship.